When Cyrus and Jackie go out with friends, sometimes Cyrus can't restrain the urge to tell everyone how great she is. Jackie is smart and funny and friendly, he declares. But he says when he does this, Jackie is not pleased. She does not blush and flutter her eyelids. She does not murmur, "You silver-tongued stud muffins." Wait till I get you home. Which I'm guessing is what he's going for when he brags her. Instead, he gets this reaction. "Smart, funny, and friendly. What about my beauty?" So here's what he told me he wants to be clear about. Today, of all days, Jackie is also very beautiful. Behind several other contenders, including the one I always bet on myself, which is funny. Jackie can't complain. When I asked her a while back to reflect on her feelings for Cyrus, here's the first thing she said. Anyone who meets Cyrus will know he is incredibly funny. She hastened to add that what she loves most about him is that he's driven and dedicated to his work. Well, sure, but for the record, his work involves being funny. Jackie also said she appreciates Cyrus's humility, but also thinks he ought to toot his own horn more. Right, toot his horn about how funny he is. But I believe they both have this right. The Jackie and Cyrus brand stands for funny, and funny is enough all by itself. No supporting, competing, or compensating virtues required. Yes, Jackie is indeed beautiful. And Cyrus is indeed hardworking and modest. But the thing that matters most is Cyrus and Jackie are funny. And I don't mean just that they have a good sense of humor. I don't even mean they're professionally funny, studio and stage funny, although both of them certainly are. I mean that they are most truly themselves when they're laughing. You all saw the photo they picked out for their wedding announcement. Cyrus delivering a hilarious punchline and Jackie's projectile laughter. That's our bride and groom, as they really are. They were both hardwired at birth to savor the irony and absurdity of life as we humans can't seem to help living it. Yet they are also deeply affectionate toward the rest of us, notwithstanding our ridiculous endeavors and pretensions. Actually, those are probably what they like best about us. Jackie and Cyrus were both made that way. They were custom made that way for each other. More about that in a moment. But first, hello to you all. I'm David Tomlin. I'm so happy to be here. My heart is full to the brim, full of thoughts and feelings about being with my family at a family wedding. I have been known to cry at weddings. It's quite likely I will cry today, probably pretty soon. I apologize in advance for any delay or inconvenience this may cause. Cyrus's mom, Judy Houghton Ellenwood, is my cousin. Her mother, Martha Thomas Ellenwood, was the much-loved big sister of my mom, Ruth Thomas Tomlin. When my mom married my dad, she wore Aunt Martha's wedding dress. The first person to wear that dress was the middle Thomas sister, Virginia Thomas Luther, my Aunt Jenny, when she married my Uncle George Luther. Aunt Jenny's daughter, my cousin Nancy, who married Jack Lawton, also wore the dress, and so did Judy when she married Cyrus's father, Bob Leddy. I know I'm not the only one here who wishes Bob was with us today. Not only would he add his own entertaining and highly idiosyncratic presence to the proceedings, but for anyone who knows Cyrus but never met his dad, it would explain so much. Jackie's father, George Frohl, is with us here, and now so is her mother, Christine Frohl. I am enjoying getting to know them on the bride's and all the other big personalities on the bride's side. Who have come here from the New York metropolitan area, New Jersey, Florida, to help us understand where Jackie's essential Jackiness came from. But we're not done with the dress yet. Aunt Ginny's daughter Nancy had a daughter of her own, Sarah Lawton. At about the same time, Aunt Ginny noticed she was developing a mysterious and troubling abdominal swelling. She feared it might be a tumor. But no, it turned out to be a baby bump. That became Nancy's surprise baby sister, Susan Luther Dewey. Both Sarah and Susan grew up and wore the dress at their weddings for a grand total of 7 identically dressed Thomas brides across 3 generations. Rumor has it that Kim Kardashian is already sniffing around for the whereabouts of the historic Thomas gown. She plans to squeeze her lubricious curves and protuberances into it for the next year's Met Gala. This would be wrong on so many levels. Somebody's got to stop it. Looking at you, Sue, change your locks. The day my mom wore the dress and exchanged vows with my dad on Christmas Day of 1941 at Calvary Baptist Church here in Providence, the minister was my grandfather, the Reverend Earl Collier Tomlin. Judy and I may be the only ones here who remember Grandpa Tomlin, but he had a pretty high profile back in the day. Calvary was an important church, and Grandpa also led tours to the Holy Land. He evangelized so publicly for the new state of Israel that he had his picture taken with David Ben-Gurion, and authorities in Jordan stopped him at the border when he tried to go in with his tour groups. But Grandpa was an Old Testament sort of preacher, quite severe in his tone, and as a little kid sitting on a hard pew looking up at him in the pulpit, found him somewhat intimidating. But he had a warm, funny side, and he told wonderful bedtime stories. And my favorite was called The Little Blue Flower. It was a parable about a poor shepherd boy sitting on a hillside who spies a beautiful little blossom nestled in the grass and clover beside him. He plucks it, and with a thunderous clap, the hillside splits open to reveal an enormous stone chamber filled with glowing heaps of gold and jewels. Standing next to the treasure is a mysterious little bearded man. He waves the boy in and gestures toward the piles of riches, and he says, "Take all you want, but don't forget the best." The boy heads for the loot to look for the best, picks up the biggest jewel that he sees, but then he sees a bigger one and an even bigger one, and soon his pockets are stuffed full. He returns to the cave entrance. The little man is gone, but the boy hears his voice echoing from the chamber walls. "Take all you want, but don't forget the best." The boy leaves the cave. With a rumble, the hillside closes up tight behind him. When he reaches into his pockets, all he finds is pebbles and ashes. And there the story ends. I really identified with that shepherd boy, and the story always left me dismayed and baffled. What did that boy do wrong? He must have forgotten the best. But if the best wasn't the biggest and shiniest stuff, what was it? Sometimes I ask Grandpa, and he would look at his watch and say, "Time for bed." I was church raised, and it didn't take me too long to figure out the easy part of what this story was saying. It was saying that we're not meant to build our lives around enriching, gratifying, and amusing ourselves. It took me quite a bit longer to understand what we are meant to do. But I finally got it, fortunately for me, not too late. It's this. We are meant to make and to be a home for each other. That's our mission, whether we choose to accept it or not. Every one of us, everywhere, no exceptions. Whatever you may believe about the grand scheme of things, surely our place in it must be with and within each other. And what matters most in this life is whatever serves guides, sustains, and inspires us in the work of finding our way to that place. Marriage is not the only school where we can learn and practice the skills of this, our true vocation, but it may be the best. And I know Cyrus and Jackie get this. Jackie wrote this to me. I know it's a cliche, but Cyrus really is my best friend. We talk about everything together. I love hearing about his day over dinner, which he cooks. Thanks for making us look bad all the time. He's a fabulous chef, and I'm the dishwasher, and telling him about mine. And Cyrus wrote me this. She's my best friend. We never run out of things to talk about, joke about, complain about. They met at AS 220, a communal living space for artists here in Providence. From what they told me about the day they met, I don't think it was love at first sight, but I got the sense that their feelings for each other grew very quickly into something stronger than that. I think they glimpsed immediately, and then over time they saw clearly each of them within the other, an open space shaped exactly like themselves. Before long, they moved in. When you know you're home in the place where you truly belong, the world that surrounds that place widens and brightens. You find new friendships, strengthen old ones. Your work becomes more authentic, and you do it well. You grow more confident. You prosper. You are a more effective person. You give and receive help and good advice. You feel welcome wherever you go. And your breath always smells minty. No, I made that up. But the rest of it is true. Here's what Cyrus told me about it. She's made me a better person. I didn't know how much anger I was carrying around. Right below the surface. Being with Jackie has made me happy. That's how it can feel to be accepted and understood and asked to come in eternally and unconditionally to a place meant always and only for you. You find yourself more willing and able to move outward, to live generously and richly. On your really good days, life seems to spread itself before you like a banquet in your honor, like an affirmation of the self you used to think nobody could know, like a golden treasure with your name on it. You realize that every source of deep and lasting joy is within your reach, and you can take all you want. Take all you want, but don't forget the best. Okay, Cyrus told me, and I quote, Jackie and I both like stuff that doesn't take itself too seriously. So that'll be enough out of me. Let's put a ring on it, and then we can go drink champagne. But first, Cyrus and Jackie have some important things to say to each other.
Jack, hello. In the time we've been together, we've been through so much, but that's not to say that it's been a hard road. With you, the road is smooth, easy. It's easy to be in love with you. And I'm sure you'd say the same about me. You're my soulmate, and as Dave said so eloquently, my best friend. The next completely awesome stage of our lives, I promise to support you, relax you, comfort, and cheer you on. I promise to offer goal-oriented solutions instead of getting weighed down in negativity. I promise to facilitate our many weird dreams.
Cyrus, repeat after me. I, Cyrus, take you, Jacqueline, as my wife.
I, Cyrus, take you, Jacqueline, as my wife.
I promise to love you, comfort you, honor, and keep you.
I promise to love you, comfort you, honor, and keep you.
For better and for worse, for richer and for poorer,
For better and for worse, for richer and for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
and forsaking all others to be faithful to you,
and forsaking all others to be faithful,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
I place this ring
Place
on
this
your
ring.
hand as a sign and symbol of my promise.
I place this ring on your hand as a sign and symbol of your promise. My
Jacqueline, repeat after me. I, Jacqueline, take you, Cyrus, as my husband.
I, Jacqueline, take you, Cyrus, as my husband.
I promise to love you, comfort you, honor, and keep you,
I promise to comfort you, honor you, and keep you.
and also love you.
I love you.
For better and for worse, for richer and for poorer,
For better and for worse, for richer and for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
and forsaking all others,
and forsaking all others.
to be faithful to you
To be faithful to you,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
I place this ring on your hand as a sign and symbol of my promise.
I place this ring on your hand as a sign and symbol of our promise.
By the power of your vows freely made before me and these witnesses chosen by you who know and love you the best, I pronounce you husband and wife, and you may kiss.